Then yeah, we go out. Our family friends are there. Dinner parties. वो YouTube पे. So it would be on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn also. So this time not on LinkedIn. Class on it, right?
directives.
Dinner parties. I have a party tonight also. So our community, they have one party. This weekend is the last weekend is the Diwali. So Diwali is falling in weekend. Again, I have a party. A lot of parties. What happens? Tonight or not? Oh.
Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to another session on IELTS preparation and strategies brought to you by Y-Axis, India's #1 visa consultant. IELTS is not just an exam, it's a gateway for your dreams and aspirations. So, whether you are a student aspiring to study abroad, a professional looking to advance their career, or an immigrant striving to start a new beginning, will help you in reaching that goal. And today we have designed that session in such a way that it will provide you with the knowledge and strategies you require to crack IELTS. I'm your host Gaurav, and I'm thrilled to welcome you all to this entertaining session. Today we have our expert, Ms. Shivani, with us. Welcome,
Hi, everyone.
Shivani, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, Gaurav.
All right, so here's the interesting part. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it with your friends. In the live chat, you have to ask interesting questions related to IELTS, and you will have a chance of winning 1000 rupees, which would be sent via UPI ID. And here's the twist to this deal. If our expert Ms. Shivani is not able to answer the question, we are doubling the stake, and you will be getting a whopping 2000 bucks, which would be sent to your account immediately. Yes, you heard that right. So share it with your friends, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Y-Axis Overseas Careers, and let's get started. So without further ado, let's dive right into the session. Ask in your burning questions related to IELTS in the chat with the UPI ID, and Ms. Shivani would try to answer those questions in a more elaborative and descriptive way, which would really help you in cracking the paper. Before that, please let us know from where you all are joining in, which city, which state. I can see a lot of people already joined in from Insta. I would request people who have joined from Insta to join to our YouTube channel because we'll only be picking questions from YouTube chats. Our name of the YouTube channel is Y-Axis Overseas Careers. Please join that and share it with your friends, and also encourage them to join so that they would also have an opportunity to learn as well as earn from this session. I can see a lot of people joining from Bangalore, Ahmedabad. Nice. Great. Come on, guys, this is your time. I can see Javed from Pune, Swati from Ahmedabad, Sky from Bangalore.
Meanwhile, people are joining. I would suggest everybody, all IELTS aspirants, I believe, that we consider IELTS as an English language test, international English language testing system. This checks your proficiency in English language. Now, many of you take this test without any preparation because you believe, yes, we all know English, there is no rocket science. However, I would suggest there are many intricacies involved with this exam, and it is important that you seek some professional guidance to be able to understand the modifications that you need to make in a way you talk when you appear for IELTS interview. As well as for your reading, writing, it will not work the way you must have taken your previous English exams. That's not going to work. And many of such test takers at times they get disappointed after they take their test without any professional guidance. So please seek some guidance before you appear for your test. And any questions, we are right there.
Great, great. Thanks, Shivani, for that heads up. I can see a lot of question coming in. First one is from Anshuman Singh. He asked, "How does the IELTS exam evolve to keep up with the changes in language and communication trends, and what can a candidate expect in terms of test updates in the future?"
All right, so it is difficult to predict future because as of now, IELTS has not announced any updates. However, as other such test exams are making it shorter, we might expect any change soon. However, there is nothing being given by the IELTS authorities. Now, coming on to the latest trends, how communication has evolved. So, IELTS already, right from the beginning, this is one such test which is checking you on all the four modules, and they keep updating questions according to the recent trends. So they just test you reading, writing, everything, and they have just made it computer based. As you remember, it was only paper based test earlier. Only 2 years back, they have provided you the computer based test version as well. That's it. And future is unpredictable. So stay tuned.
That's great. I hope Anshuman you got your answer, and please don't forget to type in your UPI ID so that my team would send the required amount to your bank account immediately. All right. Next, I can see one question from Divakar, who has joined from Hyderabad. He asked, in the IELTS writing section, candidates are asked to provide both a formal and informal response. How does one strike the right balance between these two styles?
Uh, I think you have some incorrect information. They are not asked to provide both formal and informal. They are asked to provide one. And this is also when it comes to letter writing. Letter writing, yes, we have three different types of letters, and you might be asked to write any of these, maybe formal, semi formal, or informal. You will not be given any choice. Apart from this informal letter writing, which you might get, everything has to be formal, be it your report writing in your academic IELTS or be it your essay writing. Informal writing is not part of IELTS at all. Hence, you need not worry about it.
Great. Divakar, I hope you got your answer, and you need to be formal both in life and in paper. And don't forget to share your UPI ID in the chat. All right. I can see a lot of questions. I would urge all the viewers to ask interesting questions so that it is interesting for other viewers also and as well as informative. All right. One question from Sky. How do we manage time for IELTS reading exams since it's very difficult?
Wonderful question. Yes, IELTS reading is complicated, specifically when you have time constraints. So you get 60 minutes to answer 40 questions, which is practically impossible. So what we suggest is do not read whatever is given to you. We can't read the entire content. We need to be specific what is relevant to me. So I will read only that part of the text which is relevant for me to answer my questions. For that, we suggest you have to skim the text well. And skimming is when you just read the first sentence of each paragraph to understand what is the topics and what is the main idea. So if I know this paragraph, I read first sentence and I understood this is about advantages. I will not read the entire paragraph. If any of my questions is pertaining to advantages, then I go to that paragraph, scan it further, and I will answer my question. So avoid reading all the paragraphs, avoid reading entire content, skim your text, understand what is given where, and then you can just read relevant text to you and you will be able to manage your time. So yes, 40 questions within 60 minutes, you need to keep pace, and that is impossible without skimming and scanning. So please stick to this.
Great. Thanks, Shivani, for that elaborative answer. And I hope Sky you got your answer. And please don't forget to type in your UPI ID in the chat so that my team could send them out to you back. I can see a lot of people have joined from Insta. I would urge them to join our YouTube channel because we only be picking questions from our YouTube channel. And please subscribe and share it with your friends so that others are also interested and motivated to join the session. All right.
Meanwhile, let's talk about time management as there was a question related to reading module. Likewise, you also need to manage time for your writing module. You are allowed 60 minutes and you need to complete two tasks. We internally bifurcate them, that complete your task 1 within 20 minutes and keep 40 minutes for your task 2. And 40 minutes also, please bifurcate it well. With your essay writing, keep 5 to 7 minutes for your planning and 2 to 3 minutes for your proofreading at the end. So 5 to 7 minutes for planning, 30 minutes for you to write or type your response, and 3 minutes at the end for your proofreading, which is a mandatory step because we all make mistakes when we write. Sometimes they could be typing errors, or some other minute grammatical errors that chime in. So manage your time well if you want to ace your IELTS exam.
Great. So I just have a follow-up question to that. I just wanted to ask, since you have been into this industry for the last 20 years, how technology has impacted the IELTS process? I mean, how it was 20 years back, and how the things have changed 20 years after, since you have been through the whole journey.
Yes, so ironically, nothing much has changed when it comes to IELTS. The pattern of the test remains the same, and that's quite a surprise because all the tests are changing.
Yeah.
And as there was a question, we are expecting some change soon because IELTS still is for 3 hours, rather all other tests have compressed themselves to 2 hours. So we can expect them technologically. Only what they have changed is they have also released a computer-based test version. Apart from that, it is more like how it was. You still, when I say computer-based test, that does not mean you can take it from home. You still need to visit a center to take the test. And it is conducted on 2 different days. One day is the day when you book your test. That day your listening, reading, writing takes place. Speaking is a separate interview one-on-one with the examiner. It might happen on the same day, the day you take listening, reading, writing, or it might happen on any other day, 2 to 3 days prior or 2 to 3 days after. So that all depends. Nothing much has changed.
Great. All right. So I got a confirmation from my team that Anshuman has received the amount in his bank account. Anshuman, could you please confirm the same in the chat? And I would request uh, all those people who have asked questions to share their UPI ID so that my team would send the amount directly into your account. All right. And I would request everyone to stick to IELTS and don't deviate from any other topic, because we won't be able to accommodate that at this point in time. I have one question from Reshnu Jain. He says, is taking coaching for IELTS mandatory, or can we prepare by ourselves for the same?
All right. So, yes, you can definitely prepare by yourself. However, as I suggested, even if you have good command over the English language, you will not be able to ace the exam because it has some typical requirements. For example, coming on to the speaking module, in our day to day life, we focus on our fluency and we focus on vocabulary also. But then, when it comes to IELTS speaking, there are two other parameters. Grammar also we take care of, but then there is a parameter called coherence. Now, coherence is something which many of us, I think most of us, do not pay any heed to when it comes to our normal life. We speak well and we are happy about it. But it is an important parameter and it almost values 25% of your speaking band score. Now, what is coherence? Coherence is simply linking your ideas. Hence, we suggest that keep using linking words, transitional words in your talk so that other person is able to absorb better when you talk. Getting my point? So it is important when it comes to speaking. Likewise, writing, we have so many specifications. And if you write a letter or an essay, the way you must have written during your English exams in your college or school, believe me, you're not going to get through. So coaching is kind of must for you to prepare. And it is better, I suggest, to save you from disappointment that you might have later.
All right. Please, Reshnu, share your UPI ID in the chat. All right. I can see a few of the questions. A lot of questions related to time management, and I guess Shivani has explained that in detail how you can uh, manage your time for each section.
Yeah, time management is an important aspect. We did discuss in detail about reading and writing. Now, coming on to the listening module. Listening module, anyway, it is you have to process it as per the pace of the audio. But during the audio, you are allowed 30 to 40 seconds of time to read your questions. Please use that time judiciously because once you have read your questions in those 30 seconds, which you are allowed to, you will be more familiar with what you have to answer and why you are listening to the audio that will follow. So as soon as you will listen to the audio, you will be able to capture those answers. Oh, yes, I know this is my answer for this question. So use your time judiciously for all the modules.
Great. I guess I have a follow-up question from Javed, who again asked the similar line that how I can improve my listening skills in IELTS.
Okay, yeah. It's an interesting one, listening skills. Now, IELTS listening is one of the easiest modules, and most of my test takers secured 9 bands in listening. On the contrary, this is one of the modules where most of the test takers fumble and they land at 6. The reason being, it needs your undivided attention. So, we more than your English skills, if you deviate even for a single second, you will lose 1 or 2 sentences because what you read as a question is a different one, but the answer that you will capture, the answer that you will enter will be as is from the audio. So here you need to follow active listening rule. Active listening is when you are not following only for the information. You need to capture each and every word that you hear. That is quite important. And for this, I can suggest you whenever you hear any podcast, just try checking whether you are able to capture each and every word or not. That's an important thing. And if you are able to manage this, your listening is sorted and you can easily get 8, 9 bands in listening.
Great. Thanks, Shivani, for that elaborative answer. And I hope Javed also got his answer and how important listening skill in IELTS study. So, since we are talking about the components of IELTS exam, uh, in your own experience, which section do test takers find the most challenging section?
The most challenging section is reading and writing.
Reading and writing.
That's a major issue that most of the test takers face and they fumble. And even today, if we pick data, most of the test takers they're unable to secure the desired band score in writing and reading. Because writing, when it comes to writing, most of the test takers are like they are not able to follow all the 4 parameters, which is an essential requirement. And see, what you write as an email in your day-to-day life will not work when it comes to your writing module here. Also, grammar. Grammar is an important aspect. Speaking English is different than written English. So be careful and pay attention to all the parameters. Practice it well when it comes to essay writing and reading because of time management. So many of the test takers they fumble in reading and writing module.
All right. So I can see a lot of questions related to time management. All right. I got a confirmation from my team that Javed has received the amount. Javed, could you please confirm the same in the chat so that others are also motivated to do the same? All right. I have got one question from Preetham. He asked, are there any cultural or regional factors that can affect a person's performance on the IELTS exam, and how can candidate address these challenges?
Okay. See, when it comes to regional thing, we talk about MTI, that is mother tongue influence. Because for us Indians, English for most of us is a second language. And how much ever we say, we have little bit of impact of our first language, L1 effect also we call it, when we speak English. Now, to an extent, we do not mind if you have that impact to an extent when it is comprehensible. Let's say if I can understand what you speak, then it is fine. However, if you speak in a heavier accent that I'm unable to understand what you say, that is when it's going to impact. For example, some people from certain part of our country, no offense to anyone, they try to pronounce O as with W sound. Just to give you an example. So when it has to be only, they say only. Now this only, people, if I like I now I'm familiar, I understand. But your examiner might not be able to understand when you say only. That is where it will create trouble. Else, you can be confident if at all it is to an understandable level, right? And for this, I would suggest if you have that heavy accent or that MTI effect, which is impeding comprehension for the other person, please practice. That's the only way you can get rid of it.
Great. So practice is the solution here, and I hope Pritam you would also practice and improve.
Yeah, and get yourself evaluated by a trained coach that whether you have got rid of this particular impact.
That's right. At the same time, I would request Pritam to share his UPI ID in the chat so that my team could send them out. All right. I have another question from Krishna who says, how to improve accuracy and time management while attempting questions, and is 7 band score really good?
Accuracy and time management is important for every module. As we say, I have already spoken about time management a lot. And accuracy is the key for IELTS. If you're not accurate with your answers when listening and reading, their objective types, they give you 0 directly. Even little deviation, we do not give partial credit also. Either you get 1 or you get 0. Though there's no negative marking, no partial credit. So accuracy has to be there. And the next thing was
Is a 7 band score really good?
7 band score is good, but that depends upon your profile. Some people, for them, it works, but some it doesn't. We need to check your profile. Please get it evaluated through our immigration consultants. They will help you understand based on your age, your education, your experience, whether 7 band holds good for you or not. So this is quite specific to an individual, and we can't generalize this.
Right. So we can't generalize, and it's very subjective uh, based on your requirement
And your profile parameters.
Yeah.
So get it evaluated, and then you will know whether it is helpful for you or not.
Great. Thanks, Shivani, for that. And Krishna, again, please share your UPI ID so that my team would send the amount directly to your bank account. All right. Uh, I can see a lot of new people have joined in. Okay. At the same time, I want to request all of you to please subscribe the YouTube channel Y-Axis Overseas Career so that you are tuned in to know all the amazing content which we share on a weekly basis, and you get a notification for the same as well. And don't forget to share it with your friends and peers who are in need of all the kind of services which we provide in Y-Axis. Do we have any confirmation?
No, please tell them to share their UPI IDs.
All right. So my team is suggesting that few of the people have not yet shared the UPI IDs. I would request all of them to please share it.
Also, another popular question that we face is whether paper-based test is good or a computer-based test is good. So both have their own pros and cons. Please choose wisely before you decide. Paper-based test, do not choose if you have messy handwriting. That's the first and foremost criteria that you need to take care of. Please, your handwriting has to be legible enough. If not, you're going to face the consequences. Do not even think about it. Computer-based test, another advantage is you have a word tracker right in the center of your screen, so that makes your life easier and you get results faster. So results are declared on fourth or fifth day. They say 5 days, now they're declaring within 3-4 days also. And paper-based test, your results are declared on 13th day. So weigh both the pros and cons before you decide which one to choose.
Okay, that's right.
No comments.
All right. So I have a question from Swati Gupta. She says, I'm a slow writer and cannot manage time to proof writing. Suggest some steps to be adapted while writing for writing section.
Okay.
How to be efficient with that.
All right. So, see, come what may, you have to keep 3 minutes for proofreading your work, whatever you have written. That's a mandatory step. One is because we suggest you to proofread twice. One is for logical errors that we make, and second one is for stylistic errors that chime in when we write. Now, how to manage time? If you're a slow writer, I would suggest opt for a computer-based test because we have essential requirement of 250 plus words for our essay writing. And I believe typing 250 words is much easier than writing 250 words. Right? You will, I guess, agree with me. And that is why I suggest keep 3 minutes for proofreading and use first 5 minutes for planning. And okay, this is what I'm going to write in my introduction, and these will be my paragraphs. Once you have planned it in the first 5 to 6 minutes, you have 30 minutes for articulation. And I believe easily in 30 minutes you can type 250 words if you have practiced well. So 30 minutes, 250 words shouldn't be a problem. Please keep 3 to 4 minutes for your proofreading, else you would have made some mistakes for sure. So that's a suggestion I give.
Great. All right. I could see in my chat people are commenting that I have already shared my UPI IDs. I would request my team to have a look on that. In the meanwhile, I have a question with from Sanoj, who says, "Can you explain the difference between the IELTS academic and IELTS general training test, and how should candidate decide which one to take?"
All right. Yes. So IELTS General is written by people who apply for their PR, permanent residency, or who go for job training. So that is when you need to take IELTS General. However, if you want to go for higher education abroad, you need to go for IELTS Academic. This is a simple rule to bifurcate. Now, listening and speaking modules, they remain the same for both the categories, be it general or academic. But we have subtle differences in reading and writing module. Writing module task 2, essay writing remains the same for both the categories. But task 1, for general category, you will get a letter. You need to write a letter. And for academic category, you will have to write a report. They'll give you a visual presentation and you will have to write a report. So this is for writing module. Coming on to the reading module, for general category, we have like 3 sections. First 2 sections, we get shorter texts. And they are more based on everyday social life context. But for academic category, for all 3 sections, you get longer subjective texts. So it becomes a little complicated for you to skim through the text because you have a lot of text to read. So these are the differences between reading and writing. Reading pattern remains the same in terms of question types or number of questions, time, but content is different for academic and for general.
Great. That was well explained. Sorry about that. So I got a confirmation that there has been some technical glitch from YouTube end. So I would request all those people whose question was answered by Shivani to share the same the UPI ID through IG, and my team will get back to you regarding the same.
IG is Instagram.
Yeah, it's Instagram.
All right.
Uh, so we are at the end of our session. We'll take few more questions, guys. start asking interesting questions. So there's one question from Abdul. He says, "I have failed IELTS twice, mostly in writing skills, and how should I crack it?"
All right. First and foremost, Abdul, I'm not sure whether you are familiar with the pattern that is required for IELTS writing. And one of my previous answers, I did mention most of the test takers fumble in writing badly. And even the ones who get through, there are hardly 2% of the test takers who score 8 or 9 bands in writing. That's the statistics I'm just disclosing you. Now, coming on to the writing module, when you say you fail, I'm not sure what was the score that you were looking for, but it is more about the practice. Also, we have a typical pattern for your letter writing as well as for essay writing. If you just write a letter, just okay, I am writing to this and whatever you want, you will not get the score. We need to demarcate our paragraphs clearly. In one paragraph, you will not stuff your ideas. We deal with paragraph structure. So when we provide coaching here at YXS, we explain each and every paragraph structure, how you need to manage, and we make you practice paragraph by paragraph. Okay, write one paragraph. We keep giving you feedback then and there. So that's how we prepare our students to deal with writing module. And the only thing what I would suggest is please seek some professional guidance, because writing until we evaluate, it will not help. So go for some preparation, practice, and coaching.
Right. All right. So I would request my team to share the channel's Instagram ID so that people could visit and type in the UPI IDs. All right. I got a confirmation from my team that Abdul has received the amount. Abdul, could you please comment down and confirm the same? All right. All right. That's it, guys. That was a lovely session, and it's quite. I hope it was very informative and educational at the same time. And last but not the least, I would congratulate as well as thank our expert Ms. Shivani for her time. I know she was quite busy today, and she was kind enough and came here at the last notice. So thank you very much, Shivani.
Yeah, my pleasure, Gaurav. And I would request everybody to follow through the tips, practice well, seek some professional guidance before you appear for your test, and get your desired scores. Good luck.
All right, folks, this is it from our side. And don't forget to share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Y Axis Overseas, India's #1 visa consultant.
And those who have pending payments, please let's get it
Yeah.
sorted. Yeah, please
Yeah,
share
we
your
will.
Instagram.
All right, guys, take care. Bye.
Bye bye.